This week's episode of the Markoutmedia podcast is sponsored by SeatGeek. Hey, Victor, do you like going to sporting events?
I do. Go Giants.
Yeah, or even hockey?
I do. Go Sharks.
Uh, Football?
Go Raiders.
And of course, professional wrestling like AEW or WWE.
Oh, of course. I mean, like, I would love to go to WWE or AEW or any wrestling event.
But don't you feel like tickets are just so expensive nowadays?
Yes, they are. And I would love to save some money.
Well, here at the Markout Media Podcast, we actually are sponsored by someone that will help you, and they are called SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing app that helps you buy tickets in literally the easiest way possible. So if you do want to go to any of these sporting events, you can just hit up SeatGeek, whether it's on your phone or on the internet through a web browser, and just hit them up and use our code to get $20 off your first purchase. And please listen closely because you definitely want to use this promo code. The promo code is Markoutmedia. That's one word, Markoutmedia. So again, please go to SeatGeek right now on your phone or on your web browser and save some money for your next sporting event.
If you're listening to this, today is Friday. Today is Big Toko's Kickback in Newark, California. So let's get into it. Berkeley, roll the intro.
Following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From San Jose, California, the king of vlog style, David Edge, and everyone's favorite, Brother Victor. This is the Markoutmedia Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Hey, thank you for listening. My name is Victor, our brother Victor, whatever one you want to call me. I really don't give a shit. Anyways, yeah, thank you for checking us out. We are the Markoutmedia Podcast. Well, I am. We are. I keep saying we, but anyways, we're on social media. You can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at Markoutmedia18. Just like in the beginning of this podcast, you heard there's a promo code, so go to SeatGeek and go get your $20 off. And yeah, go to a music event, wrestling, whatever. Go check it out. Anyways, yeah, thank you for whoever's checking this out. We have a great interview today. Today, my guest is Dr. Redacted. Yes, before this weekend, you saw him at ICW. He made his debut. We talk about that. We talk about hardcore. We talk about wrestling. It's a pretty good interview for me just because personally I'm come from the hardcore scene, and we just had a lot of just, common ground with, the hardcore scene and wrestling and just music in general. So, yeah, it was a good time. So let's get straight into this. Let's get into the Dr. Redacted interview right here on the Markoutmedia Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Today, my guest is Dr. Redacted. Doctor, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. It's almost the end of my work week. Tomorrow is my Friday, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, fuck you because it's not mine.
Yeah, I know. I feel bad when I tell people that because they're like, damn, I still gotta wait till Friday. Or some people are like, I work on the weekends. And I'm just like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I got that overtime weekend coming up.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to do overtime just for the money. Then I'm pretty sure just because on my job, everyone leaves at 2:30. So even then, if I stay after 2:30, no one's there. So it's like kind of all right.
I hate how much I love and hate money. It sucks.
Yeah, but you know what? Money keeps this love for wrestling going.
That is true too.
Yeah. But yeah. How is everything with you? You're doing good?
We're doing great. Had a nice busy weekend. It was good.
Yeah, that's right. Let's get into I want to get right into it, honestly, because I just watched the match like 20 minutes ago. And the match, your debut at ICW, how was that?
It was good. It was fun. That like structure, the cage is sick. I was like kind of going into it being a little hesitant, being like, it seems limiting because I was really looking forward to doing the chains. That's what I really want to do.
Yeah.
And then I did this and I was like, oh, this is actually great. Like, I'll do this every time if you want me to.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. So was the floor okay? Because I've seen it before, and usually the mat is on the floor. I felt like the mat wasn't on the floor. I don't know why. Was it like raised? Like, was there something like a ring to raise up or something?
It was a low boy ring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was
sick.
wondering. Yeah, because I was wondering. Yeah, like why you guys were just a little bit above the people. But either way, it looks sick, and the stuff you did in that match. I mean, hey, you got the ICW chance going, so I mean, that's pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see you like in the LA date that they have coming up. That'd be pretty cool to see you there.
I'm sorry, I lost you there. What'd you say? In the what?
Oh, I was gonna say they're doing their LA show, so it'd be pretty cool to see you on the West Coast and do their LA show for ICW.
I agree.
Yeah, because you're kind of coming out here. Yeah, because I was gonna say you're kind of already coming out here, and the closest I've seen you come out here was in Vegas.
I've done a few LA dates with VXS, and
Oh, that's right.
now that I have another VXS coming up in LA, and then there's also Crimson Crown that I'm doing in October.
Nice. Are you excited for those ones?
Very, very excited.
That's cool. You don't have. I mean, do you have an opponent yet, or is it just you just got announced?
For VXS, I don't think it's been announced, but I'm gonna give you the scoop anyway.
Cool.
It's gonna be me versus Hunter Freeman versus Matt Justice.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Can you say CTE without saying CTE? I know.
Jesus Christ, those chair shots are gonna be fucking. They're gonna be too much.
You're not wrong.
I feel bad for somebody. I don't know. And it's crazy because if there was something high, like a balcony or something, I'm pretty sure Matt Justice would jump off it and land on you guys. And just, yeah, I can't even imagine.
It's funny because me and him are both like known as like the jump off guys. So we've like definitely gone places before and been like, oh, I'm jumping off that. And he's like, no, I'm going to jump. And he's beaten me on that of he got the go ahead to jump off of it. So whatever.
What's the highest you've jumped off to? Like, what's the highest or like balcony or anything?
I did this show at a brewery in Pennsylvania, and they have those insanely high, like, I don't want to call them shelves, but like at like stores like BJ's or like the place used to be a like aircraft like carrier gimmick.
Oh, okay.
So they have these insanely high shelves, and I had to like climb up to the third one, which was like it had to have been like 2 stories higher, taller, and I just jumped off like a psychopath.
Oh, I mean, and everyone, I'm assuming, caught you.
Yeah, I'm still here, so yes, they did.
Okay, that's good. Oh man, just because like imagine like just I've seen people the recent stuff that I've seen people jump off of is the balcony at a venue here in San Francisco, the Emporium, and just seeing people jump off of that. Like Phoenix Kid, he jumped off it, and yeah, it was just nuts. So I can't even imagine if you were to jump off something like that. But yeah, it's exciting that you're doing the Crimson Crown. I've watched them here and there. I've seen some of their death matches that they put on, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited that you're coming out here.
I will say that match. I can't say what it is yet because I don't think I have the go ahead to announce that one. Yeah. But that match is the promoter said that might be the wackiest one that night. He didn't use the word wacky, but I like to use that word, so I'm gonna use wacky.
I can't even imagine. It's probably going to be like Legos and pool noodles that are wrapped in thumbtacks, and I don't know. It's probably can't imagine it. It's going to be nuts.
It'll be a lot more dangerous than everything you just said.
Yeah, because I was watching your match with Bam Sullivan, and there was the firecracker bat. How did that idea come up? Yeah, how did that idea come about?
I had like seen it, and I've done it before with Sandra, and when I did it with Sandra, I had a friend help me make it, and I was like, this would be really cool if we added even more firecrackers to it. So with the time with Bam Sullivan, it was almost tripled the amount that I used in the match that I did with Sandra, and dude, it was nuts. Like that crowd that was there for the Bam Sullivan match is like a super casual crowd.
Yeah.
And they did not expect that at all. Like there was people that like fell on the ground because they were like nervous and scared, like a gun went off or something, but it was awesome.
It looked pretty cool on my end. I mean, like I said, I watched it earlier today just to rewatch it. I've seen it at least twice so far. So I think it's cool. I haven't seen it here on the West Coast in person, me personally, but I think it's a pretty cool spot.
Good to know.
Very creative, whoever comes up with that idea, and I guess respect to whoever takes it to the back or whatever they're taking it to, because yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not an easy hit.
Yeah. And you definitely get this like crazy ringing sound in your ear where you're like, oh, let's find out if I'm deaf or not.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So you do this thing, you do the green mist. I want to know, how did that come about?
Uh, I have this crazy thing that goes, no, I was always a huge fan of Muda growing up.
Yeah.
And then, like, seeing it in WCW and then seeing this guy, seeing Tajiri and being like, oh, that's the coolest. And, not too many people in America like do that anymore. And
Yeah.
I'm also pretty sure I might be like the only Caucasian guy to do it. That's probably wrong, but I'm gonna just say I am. So why not?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. But so on commentary that I was watching, that I've seen it before, they like people were saying that it smells. So does it have like a smell to it when after you spit it out your mouth?
No, that just happened to be something that came about. Shout out to Jordan Castle. He just like randomly said it once on commentary at VXS, and it just kind of caught on, and it's sick. And it's like I said, just different. It just adds to it.
Yeah, I like it. Because but like I said, but it makes me wonder. So then you have people like me that will question and who will ask, you will ask things like, "Wait, does it really smell like?" Because you're watching at home and they're doing a good job on commentary, and but hey, good job to them because they got me questioning you now if it has a smell, and yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it's cool that you do the mist. I would say yeah, not a lot of people are doing it.
Maybe if I come out to this Ugwa spot, you'll get a chance.
Hey, you never know what could happen in the underground. You never know what could happen in the Ugwa zone, as I say. I don't know if other people say that.
I like the phrase the Ugwa zone. That's sick.
Like I said,
it rolls off the tongue good. It rolls off the tongue.
It's funny. That's the home promotion. So yeah, I would love to see you out here doing a death match with one of guys that are out here. I mean, we got Juicy Finau, we got Tony Vargas, we got Big Baby Powder that does the death matches, and we got a few other people that do them too. And just off the top of my head, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool to see you in Ugwa and yeah, to come out here.
Well, the negotiations are being worked on, so we'll keep you posted.
But it leads me to my next thing because I was like, damn, if he's out here, I want to like we're gonna go. I want to hit up like a record store, like a local record store, because people out here they're still selling like hardcore like vinyls.
Oh wow, that's sick. Yeah,
yeah, we got a lot of local record spots that still sell like today's music, like today's hardcore and like the older stuff.
That rules. You don't see, yeah, you're right. You don't see that too often, even though it's weird because I feel like vinyl, like there's a market for it. Like there's tons of people out there that do collect it.
Yeah. I was one of those people actually. I had a Earth Crisis vinyl. I had the Story So Far with the specialized sleeved like thing that they made that someone drew for it.
I was gonna say, do you get it like in all the colors and everything?
I didn't worry about the colors so much, but I just worried about. I didn't worry about anything really. I just didn't worry about the colors or anything. I know some people do,
yeah.
But and they'll collect like the red one, the green one, and even if it's the same album over and over again. I didn't care. But yes, I miss my like I forgot what the smaller ones are called.
That's a great question. I never became a vinyl guy. I've always, when it came to like CDs and stuff too, once the internet was like, yo, you can download music, I was like, oh, and I don't have to take up space for everything. Yeah, I like that.
I guess that makes the most sense. But yeah,
For
you're
the
always
record, I was
yeah.
never a Napster kid. Never a Napster
Oh,
kid. I was always a
neither was I.
Kaza or I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, or Soulseek. Those were my two big ones.
I don't remember the last one you said.
Oh, Soulseek was the best. It was like, do you remember when AOL Instant Messenger had Get File?
Yeah.
It
No.
was like that, but oh, okay, he doesn't.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. I
Okay.
was going to say it sounds familiar though.
Oh, well, it was sick. It was pretty much like you could just look in anyone's thing and like take what you wanted, and it was chef's kiss. It was the best.
Uh, like music and shit.
Yeah, yeah, it was great.
What the fuck? That's cool. Damn. What year was that around?
I hope you're doing research right now. It'll make me really happy.
What was okay? Wait, what was it called again?
I think I lost you there for a minute.
I said, what was it called again?
Oh, Soul.
Oh, okay, let me. I got that right here. Oh yeah, right here. I like how people ask, "Is Soul Seek still a thing?"
I wonder if how those things are doing in general.
Uh, I don't. There is a website though. I do see it. I don't want to click on it, but there is a website.
Well, that's good to know. They're still
Yeah,
alive. They're still out there.
yeah. And then there's the Wikipedia page, and it started. Okay, so like early 2000s.
Do you think people still use what was it, MySpace?
That's a good question. Maybe, yeah. I mean, someone has to. I know someone does. There's no way that no one doesn't. There's just no way. I
I
don't.
wonder
I
if
find it
people
hard to
use
believe.
it,
Yeah.
but I wonder if people use it like unironically. Like if they use it like, hey, MySpacers, I'm here. Like just updating my I don't remember what you updated. Was it a bulletin? Was that a thing?
Yeah, you had a bulletin.
And top eights. I remember that.
um yeah, but you know what though? It was really shitty because like um for me, since I was in a band, it wasn't any of my homies. I put the bands as my top eight. So like all my favorite local bands, I'd put them as my top eight. And then like if I got in a relationship, like that person would be first and then the bands.
Yeah, yeah. Been there.
I'm just like, hey, I'm like, you're dating someone that's in a band. I'm like, what do you expect? I'm like, all my homies are in the band, so it just makes sense to put their band instead of their actual personal pages. So, but then they changed that shit to the top eight to like top 30 fucking six or something.
Oh, yeah. It got to be ridiculous, like insane.
But that was a good year for like good time. Well, not good year, but good times. Like kind of sometimes, just because like when it came to MySpace, like when it came to music, that's how I discovered a lot of new bands,
Same. Same.
like hardcore bands, bands from Florida, band like specifically bands from Florida, because like when it came to Florida and like hardcore, like that shit was like it was like peanut butter and jelly, like it just went together.
I would agree with you on some of that. Not all of it, but some of it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it is Florida, so I'm gonna keep that in mind. But like bands like Ex Bishop X, Until the End, Evergreen Terrace, like all those bands that I used to listen to, they came from Florida, from my understanding.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because until the end, Bishop and Remembering Never are all the same singer.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot his name.
Mean Pete.
Yeah. I didn't know him, but our guitarist at the time was that was her homie, so like he was cool
That's
with
it.
us. But I mean, that's why we got to cover, like I was telling you before, we got to cover Until the End, and he was just like, "Yeah, go right ahead and like record a video of some of it so I can see it." And he was like, "Yeah, it's cool."
Dude, that band fucks. Like they're sick.
Um, because yeah, you come out to Disembodied.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It
uh,
kind of works with the character. It
yeah,
like I think it's like super chaotic. It's all over the place. I wanted to do something with like sirens, but then I'm like, I feel like it's kind of overdone. And I always have so many friends that are like, "Oh, are you gonna come out to a hardcore band?" And then I was like, "Well, this is like cool, and it's like something I personally like, so it works."
There you go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you come out to seven. What is that song?
Seven Stitches.
Yeah, Seven
Yeah.
Stitches. Yeah, I know it's not on Apple Music, and I know it's probably not on Spotify. It probably is. I'm
Uh-oh, I
so.
lost you.
I was gonna say that song is on. It's not on Apple Music, so I can't even listen to it.
Yeah.
So, but damn, yeah. So, everything that you post about hardcore, like, how did
Oh,
you
it's on
get?
Spotify.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I have to download Spotify to listen to that song because I will actually do that. Um, but I gotta ask, me being myself, just as I grew up in hardcore, and that's kind of all I really knew before wrestling. How did you get into hardcore? Like, how did you start listening to it?
Um, so I definitely like really early on had like I'm at the time I was an only child, and then I became like the oldest one in my family.
Mhm.
So I never had like a big brother or anything to like get me into it. But I had like two friends that had brothers. One was in like a really shitty pop punk band,
Mhm.
and one was like this weird stoner dude who had all these like cool flyers in his room. And like you couldn't find anything on those bands, but the friend who had the pop punk brother,
Yeah.
his band would play at this like mini golf place by me, and like occasionally like a metalcore or hardcore band would play too. And then you just get flyers or compilations. Remember those?
Oh
And
yeah.
then which dude, I found out there's so many cool bands through those. And I would just get that and then like start doing all my research because like back then I was like hungry for it all. I just like wanted to take in everything, and you just find all that cool stuff then. And I feel like today it's a lot easier for people to find music. Like for example, you could go right on Spotify and it'll say artists similar or whatever.
No, yeah, I feel it. I now that I can say this, now that I'm out of hardcore, um, I feel like bands, like newer bands, can play, which is cool. Like go right ahead. But I'm just used to touring and hitting the road. Is I feel like
Yeah.
newer bands in hardcore can play one show or maybe like a weekend here and there and do completely fine. And I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe that's just how it is nowadays. Maybe you don't have to tour to make a little bit more than a $20 booking, but you know, and you'll probably draw more kids anyways.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot different in better and worse aspects than it was like when we were growing up and being into it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm at that weird phase of my life where I'm the guy who's like, oh, I hate new bands. I mean, I don't hate all new bands. I just don't care.
Yeah, same with me. Like I've tried to listen to some of the newer bands like here on the West Coast,
Yeah.
and it's just one, it's not my style of beatdown that I like,
Yeah.
and it's not my style of hardcore that I like. So I was just like, it's cool if someone else likes it, but I'm just like, I don't know. I haven't like I mean, like the only band that I found interesting was 200 Stab Wounds, and that was because of the name, and they weren't really necessarily specifically a hardcore band.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, what are some newer bands? Because I see you post like Death Threat, Cast Aside, and like all the older stuff. So, what's some of the newer music that you're listening to?
Honestly, I don't even like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Oh wow,
That's a great question. Yeah. Dude, I still listen to like Marauder Master Killer like every day. I'm like still in that like weird phase of my life right now.
I guess I'll I'll peel back the curtain a little bit on this one. I was in one of those hardcore crews with the vocalist of Marauder.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny
Yeah.
because apparently the guy who booked me against Bam Sullivan that time, his cousin is the singer of Marauder, Jorge.
Oh man. Yeah, Jorge, like I say, he was cool. Like he was cool with us. Like we sent him merch one time. He rocked it and he loved it. He liked us as people. It's just I just wasn't fit to be in a hardcore crew, to be honest.
Yeah, and
But
that's fine. Not everybody is.
yeah, like it just wasn't for me. You know what it is? Like if I was gonna be in a crew, Like I would be like, oh, these are my brothers, blah blah blah, whatever, and that's fine for people that do that, and I'm happy that people, find friends and end up calling them brothers or sisters or whatever. But I already had brothers, so it just didn't make sense to. I don't know, it just didn't make sense.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to listen to like some newer hardcore stuff, but I'll always end up going back and listening to like Death Threat.
Dude, Death Threat, man, people who don't like that band, it blows my mind.
There's people that don't like them.
Yeah, I'm just like, you don't get it. Oh, I just realized a newer band I like is that band from Vegas, Spirit World.
I've heard of them.
It's pretty much Folsom, but just under a different name, but it's really good.
LVHC.
Yeah. But it's sick.
Hammer Lane Crew. I used to love Folsom. They used to play San Jose like all the time, and
yeah,
and like I remember seeing them back then. I remember seeing them a little bit after they broke up, and yeah, good band. Vegas had a lot of good. Vegas had a good scene. Honestly, Vegas was the spot to hit for a while.
That's definitely a place I never really heard much about. I only got to see Folsom twice. I booked them once, and then I saw them in Brooklyn. The time I booked them, I enjoyed it a lot more. The Brooklyn show was really awkward. It was just like kind of empty, and it was just weird.
I played Brooklyn once. It was on the Lionheart tour that I did. It was Lionheart, Barrier, and Rude Awakening, and we played Brooklyn. And I remember the kids were moshing, and the merch table is like right by the pit, and I'm like, fuck. I was like, someone's gonna flip the table. And I was like, no, worse. Someone's going to grab the merch and just throw it and continue moshing. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, we're just standing here watching the band, and you guys grabbed our merch and just tossed it and kept moshing. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, you don't get this shit on the West Coast.
East Coast is super ignorant. It's like kind of a great thing, and it's like an entertaining thing to watch. Like, I feel like there's certain people that watch like the people like moshing more than they actually do watch the bands. I mean, for you, not just for your safety, but like in general.
Oh, for sure. Like, okay, so like if I saw someone that was filming a show that I was playing, they'd be like, "Oh, like do you want the footage of like what I shot?" I'm like, "Yeah, blah, blah, whatever. I want to see it." And I'll ask them, be like, "Oh, how come you didn't get some of the pit?" And they'll be like, "Oh, I just wanted to focus on you guys." I'm like, "No, I want to like get some of the pit too." I was like, "Actually, get more of the pit than us." I was like, "Our stage presence is good. It's fine, whatever." I was like, "But I'm trying to see how the kids are moshing to us."
Yeah. Like, shout out to Sonny at Hate56. He gets like the best of both worlds, and I love it.
Yeah, his videos are like top notch.
So many ridiculous ones.
But I hear that you used to book shows.
Yeah. It's definitely a thing that was fun at the time, and I would probably hate as an adult. And I definitely learned that there is no money to be made, and that going to shows instead of booking shows is a lot more enjoyable.
I agree 100,020% or whatever, how many numbers, because I tried to book shows in my garage. The first one was free, so that was easy. But the cleanup took forever, and just I don't know. It took like about a week to clean the garage, and kids were fighting. It was like punks versus hardcore kids. And then after I booked the first one, Ill Intent hit me up, and they're like, "Oh, we need a place to play in San Jose." So I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll book you guys or whatever." And they're like, "Oh, we want this much and however this much." I said, I can't.
This is a garage, guys.
Yeah, I was like, I can't guarantee you a lot, and I can't guarantee you anything. I said, but everything we make from the door, you can have. And I let them sleep at the house, and I fed them, and they were happy with everything. They got their money. There was enough kids to pay for off a $3 show. That was in 2012. So I was like, times were different with money and everything, but kids were able to pay off a $3 show, and the band got paid. So I was like, fuck it. I was like, I did my job.
I will say, like, growing up in that like era of hardcore, like to wrestling now, it fucks me up because people are like, yeah, you have to charge $25 to $30 for a shirt. And I'm like, that sounds crazy. Why would I ever do that? And then I go to print shirts and I'm like, I understand why people do that. But yet I still charge $20 because I'm an idiot.
That's how much I charge my shirts. But you're right though, because I had the hardcore mentality where um I was giving away our stickers. And just to keep in mind, the stickers that I make and the stickers that my brother makes, um, they're cheap. They're good quality stickers. It's just they're cheap to make. So I got like 200 for a decent price. And I was like, 200 stickers. I said, what the fuck am I gonna do with 200 stickers? I was like, I'm gonna start posting them downtown San Jose and just hopefully they stay up there and just post them everywhere. And I'll give some to people that buy merch or whatever. But I had that hardcore mentality of band stickers are free. And then when I got into wrestling, setting up merch for the first time, they're like, nothing's free. And I was like, man, I was like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Like for example, at ICW, I was selling merch and I was giving stickers away with like people who bought shirts or whatever. And the girl next to me is like, why are you doing that? And I went, well, why not? Like, I wanted to come back. And she's like, yeah, but you can charge them for that. And I was like, I mean, I could, but that doesn't seem right. Like, it just seems weird. I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem weird. And I don't know. It's hard to get that mentality out of my head just because, like, I went to a show in Sacramento, so like literally NorCal,
Okay.
and um, it's a good scene. Sacramento has a good like wrestling scene, like the indie fans and just kids that want to go to shows and parents that take their kids to wrestling shows. Good decent amount of good balance of everything. So I saw a group of kids and I was like, hey, do you guys? I got some stickers that that from my podcast, blah whatever. And all I saw was a bunch of hands just coming at me, and I was just like, oh, yep, they want stickers. And all I said was, give me one, give me one, give me one. And I was like, oh, yep, okay. I was like, see, that's the cool moment of when you can pass out stickers for free. I said, but other than that, like, I get what people are saying of like, you could charge for this and you can charge for that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like I said, I don't know. It's the hardcore mentality that I grew up in, and the hardcore was all I knew. So, like, I didn't know what wrestling was. I didn't know anything. I I watched as a kid, but yeah, I got back into it in 2013, but didn't start this podcast till 2018. So it's been hardcore up until then. Like, it literally has been. But are you still going? Are you still attending like local shows and everything?
I mean, if I get the chance, I will. My issue is like it's wild. I can go do like these insane death matches. I'm fucking bleeding everywhere, and like I'll live to see another day.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll go see like whatever band, and I'm like, oh, my whole body hurts, and then like I've like awkwardly like bruised a rib or like fractured my hand somehow, and I don't know. With between like bookings and everything, it gets to be like, do I take the risk? Because I can't just be a normal adult and like go to a show and just stand there and like enjoy myself. Like I should be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, I have to run around and jump off everything like a psychopath. So.
No, yeah, like the last show that I went to, I think I moshed for like a second, and then I this wasn't that long ago, but I went in for like a second, and then I was breathing all heavy. I was tired. I was just like, I can't do this. I was like, I don't see how people can still do this, and that's what I get for not taking care of my body when I was in hardcore.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much like a cardio thing or anything like that. It's just like, I guess you always end up hitting your hand on something stupid or like I said, just jumping off something, and people, it's not like wrestling where they're trying. I mean, well, where you're like trying to like land on people. They're like, oh, we're gonna run away, and then you're like, oh, my back's broken now. Great.
Yeah, I know. The worst, like, I would guess, like, hit that I've had during a hardcore show was, it was 10 for 10 tour, 10 bands for $10.
Oh, I remember Poison the Well was on it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the Ghost Inside and all those. It was a good tour, but it went to LA. So I don't know why I went to the LA date, but me and my band at the time went to the LA date, and I don't know what I did, but there was enough people there to like crowd surf, and I wasn't the only one there like doing it. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm small enough, I'm gonna do it. And then as I'm doing it, my ass lands on the barricade and just smacks and it just hurts so bad. I couldn't enjoy the rest of the show. That's how bad it was. And then my brother, he got knocked out. Somebody hit him on the head and he fell like straight to the ground.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that's how bad hardcore can be for anyone who is listening, because yeah, hardcore is it's a dangerous game sometimes.
Yeah, and like going back to like how I said I can't be like a normal adult.
Yeah.
The responsible adult in me is like, hey, promoter X is flying you out, has paid for your flights, and is promoting you on this show, and then you're gonna be some fucking dum dum and like break your head open or whatever at some show, and then you can't go and like fulfill your job. It's, you know, I would completely understand if promoter X was like, hey, don't come back here anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. And also going back to Vegas, Vegas has such a sick wrestling scene. I love Vegas.
Yeah, I went to Vegas for Grap House. It was their Halloween show, and it was a really good show. I like their venue that they have down there. The one that you and Sandra had the death match at.
Dude, that like crowd and like that whole like setup and everything, it's a vibe. It's fucking sick.
Yeah, it was like I said, we went to a Halloween show, so it was me and the Ugwa guys, because Ugwa had a show the next day there in Vegas. So yeah, it was good. I mean, I think it's a cool spot, and you can't find spots like that nowadays. Like not here, at least.
And thankfully for Vegas, you know, it never rains and it's hot out all the time. So like you can do those year round.
Yeah, because when I went, it was October, and the weather was it was pretty good.
Hot as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, during the day it was all right, but when it got to nighttime, like you didn't need a sweater. It was all good.
I was definitely grateful to whatever anyone believes in that the sun had went down that June day in Las Vegas.
Oh, you got to experience it in June.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, I hope the sun goes down. I can't imagine this with the sun out right now.
It sounds awful. I don't know. The Vegas heat I can't do, and I give it up to people that do it. Just I don't know. It's like San Jose heat, like Bay Area heat. Like it's okay. Like you can go up to San Francisco and the weather's gonna be windy. It's gonna be nice. Like if you're going to like a beach town where the weather's gonna be nice and whatever. But yeah, it's like San Jose gets at least to 100 sometimes. Not all the time, but high 90s.
Well, what's like crazy to me, and like, I don't know, I guess geography and shit just doesn't make sense to me sometimes,
Yeah.
is when I did the VXS Vegas show, right after the show, I got in a car and went to California. And dude, I went from like sweating my ass off to like freezing. It was insane.
Yep. That's damn.
And
Like
I
I
was
said,
like,
yeah.
dude, the next day I had to go out and buy a hoodie. I was so cold. I wasn't prepared for that.
Man, it's like tour weather. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared to flip our trailer in ice.
I don't think anyone is prepared for that, but
Yeah, I wasn't prepared because our guitarist who used to play for us, we put him in the band again, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I could do this tour." So I'm like, "Okay, cool, come on tour with us." And he finished off the dates with us, but we're driving home from the East Coast, and we're in Wyoming, and he's driving like 60 with the trailer, and he hits black ice, and he stomps on the brakes.
oh,
Yeah, so my
oh,
brother, yeah, my brother laid there, and because I kind of looked at him, I was like, I wonder, because in my head, I was like, is my brother okay? Is he freaking out? And he wasn't. He just stayed there and just looked straight into the like out the windshield. And I was laying down. Me and my guitarist were laying because our band had a bed in the back, so we're both laying down because we did the drive before he took over. And yeah, I hit my mouth. Yeah, I hit my face on the seat.
good lord.
It was so bad, but yeah. Have you ever been on tour with the band or anything like that? Like while you're doing the hardcore stuff?
Never for like too long, just like weekends here and there.
Okay, that's not bad. I would say
Yeah.
some people they're like, oh, it's not a tour. I'm like, hey, if you leave for more than 2 days, if I'm leaving my house for more than 2 days, it's a tour.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not just leaving my house for a night or two. Like, if I'm leaving for more than 2 nights, I gotta pack a bag.
I'm a notorious overpacker, so I'm always packing a bag no matter what.
Um, do you put stick like I've seen wrestlers do? Do you put stickers on your gear bag?
Uh, so my gear bag is a duffel bag because I've learned through merch companies and like hardcore
Yeah.
that duffel bags are always better than suitcases because they can fit. It's like Tetris; they can fit in like anything, and you can like mold them almost, not mold them, but like you can shift them easier as
Okay.
opposed to a rolly bag, which is a rectangle at all points. It never compresses or anything like that.
Hmm, makes sense. I'm gonna take that into consideration because I'm using one of those roll suitcases. I've never personally used it on myself, but I was given one and I put the merch in there. But it's small, but when I tried to fly with it, I wanted something smaller.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like the rolly bags are sick. They're super like fun, easy, convenient, whatever. But like with the double bag, I can use that as checked or I can use that as carry on. And like I said, I can still fit a ton of shit in there. And you know, over the years, you learn the tricks and everything to get stuff in small areas, and it's worked out for me ever since. So
No, yeah, I feel it. Yeah, next time I fly. So okay, yeah, you're doing a lot of flying from here and there, and you got to fly to you got to come to the West Coast in October. So
oh
yeah.
please, I'm coming to the West Coast the end of September too.
Oh,
But can't talk about that show. So it hasn't been the match hasn't been announced yet. So
oh yeah,
we'll
yeah.
although
Yeah.
September also September I'm doing a lot of West Coast there too. Late September,
Oh well.
Week West California, and then the 30th in a undisclosed area that I can't mention yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then October it's a lot of West Coast again too.
Hey, you know what though? West Coast needs some hardcore like style matches or death match, regardless of what it is. It's just like I said, we got good wrestling here on the West Coast. Like there's West Coast Pro, there's Hood Slam, and then down in LA, you have like Santino Bros. They're putting on shows. You have GCW that comes out. Um, but yeah, just the more death matches, the more crazy shit, the better.
Yeah, it's funny. I was in one of my group chats. I have friends in California who are just telling me how like you guys are like deprived, not deprived, but like you don't get that much deathmatch out there.
We don't.
It's funny. The first time I wrestled in Vegas, it was me and Laz, and he's a great human. I like him a lot, and
Yeah,
we
he's
did
your best
the
friend.
yeah. I heard he is my best friend, and Jody's gonna make some shitty post about this on Twitter tonight now, or whenever this airs.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. Friday's gonna make some shitty post about it. Shout out to all those kids. Them, Sandra, I like them all a lot.
Yeah.
Vegas just has so many good like hidden wrestlers that like not enough people know about, and it drives me nuts. Like they have such a good scene in general. But when me and Laz did that death match the first time there, I guess that's like a thing that crowd or those like people in general just like don't see very often. And there was some spots we did, and they were just like I like it's weird because like in any normal crowd you get like, the holy shit chant or whatever,
Mhm.
and these people were just like terrified, like the jaws were dropped and they were like, oh my god, this is really happening right now. It was like a kind of weird, surreal, cool feeling, but at the same time I was like, are they like upset?
The only thing that I can think that would come close to a death match was like guy because he's a Vegas guy, Funny Bone, and like Super Beast. They threw a show, or Super Beast threw a show, and it was like a death match or like a hardcore style show. And yeah, because my brother filmed it. When I saw it, I was all like, "Damn!" I was like, "That's my style of wrestling. I wish I can go." But I was like, "But that's Vegas," so I was like, "I can't just get up and go."
Yeah, Vegas is definitely worth the trip though. I don't know how far that is for you, but it's sick.
It's 8 hours.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd rather fly to Vegas than drive. Driving back for after the Grab House show was
Miserable.
terrible. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was just there's nothing to look at. It's just especially when you're going up to California, there's
Oh,
nothing to look at.
nothing. Nowhere to stop either. It's terrible.
Um, outside of Vegas, me and my brother stopped at a gas station called Terribles, and they have a White Castle in there. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna try some White Castle. Tried it. It wasn't bad. I just thankfully I didn't eat it. And someone was like, don't eat it before going to a wrestling show because then your stomach's gonna be all fucked up. I ate it and my stomach was fine.
Well, I hate White Castle. They also definitely do a thing around here, at least with White Castle, on Valentine's Day, where
Yeah.
you can like bring a date and they have a hostess who seats you and everything, and like has like a nice table and lights a candle, but it's White Castle. Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, I don't know. Like in Portland, there's Voodoo Donuts, like they're like well-known donut place.
Oh, dude,
And
I've been to the one in Orlando. It's sick.
yeah, as I'm saying, you can get married there.
That's wild. I did not know that, but I will consider that. But dude,
Yeah,
donuts
it's cool.
and weddings, I'm all about it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
That's what I'm saying. Like I want to go back to the one in Portland, and if I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna do it there.
Why not? It's fuck getting a cake. Dude, wedding cakes suck, by the way.
Wedding
Shout out
cake?
to all my friends who don't get wedding cakes. Shout out to my friends who did get wedding cakes. I pretended to like it, but wedding cakes suck. They're never good.
No, I don't eat I don't have dairy, so wedding cake is yeah, it's probably a no for me. So
That's a bummer.
nah. If it was a vegan wedding cake, then I'd be all over it. But even then, I'm really not a big dessert guy myself, besides like dairy-free ice cream. But and I know it sounds all kind of it is what it is, but yeah, I do it for my skin, so my skin doesn't flare up.
Dude, I will say vegan donuts are sick.
They are, but certain ones I can't eat because there's too much sugar.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, but other like if there's not that much sugar in it, then like vegan donuts, they fucking smack. Like honestly, like they're hella
That's
good.
one like with California, the fact that you guys have so much good Mexican food and so much good donuts, that's what I'm all about.
Have you? Because like speaking of like good food and because I'm assuming you're going to SoCal, all for Crimson Crown you are, but you should go to Grill 'Em All.
Grill 'em all. Okay, I'll look that one up.
Yeah, they've been a sponsor on like GCW before. They had fuck they did a fucking burger for Supreme in October they did, and that was pretty cool. So that was pretty cool. I didn't eat it, but they did a burger for Juicy Finale. They did a burger for
So
Necro
weird. That's
Butcher.
crazy.
Yeah, it's weird the way they come up, and it's weird because I had one for what's the Mexican dude, the luchador in Freedoms, Violento Jack.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He had his own burger at Grill 'Em All. And when I got it when I was out there for GCW, so me and my brother, we go to Grill 'Em All. I get the burger. I was like, okay, let's see what this is like. So I bite into it, and I was like, damn. I was like, this is like if someone put tacos in a fucking burger, and this shit's hella good. And but they named it some. It's like they'll name it something, and then it's AKA the wrestler's name, whatever they put.
Oh, I'm gonna look into this. This sounds like it's like fascinating.
Yeah. Then they also have like metal shit. Like they have a burger called the Behemoth, and like all this other shit.
There's a place in Chicago like that, but it's just like with metal and hardcore. It's called Kuma Corner, and they do like stuff like that.
That's sick.
But yeah,
Damn.
it was real weird, like getting like this like bomb ass burger, and then they're playing Snapcase and like the red chord, and I'm like, oh, okay, sick.
That's sick. Yeah, Grill 'Em All on Wednesdays. They do a thing where they show AEW and people can go there and drink and get food and watch AEW.
This is an experience. That's nice. Do they do vegan stuff too, or no?
Probably because the last time I checked, because now that I'm eating more plant based, I did look into it. I think they do. I just think you have to ask.
A lot of my California friends are vegan, so they're always like, "Oh, you're in town. We'll take you wherever you want to go." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we got to go somewhere where you guys can eat too." But they're nice, so I usually get options.
Dude, the vegan spots that we have here in San Jose they're pretty fire, honestly.
You'll have to show me around.
Yeah, like I told Kevin Blackwood when he was here for doing Agua. He was like, "Oh, what's here to eat?" And I was like, "There's a vegan spot on the same street as the venue. It's just hella blocks that way, but I was like, it's worth it. I was like, if you're a vegan and you never had it, I was like, it's really good.
Good to know. Good to know. For the record,
Um,
I love vegan food. As long as it tastes good, I'm about it.
oh, for sure. Yeah. If it tastes good, like if it doesn't taste good, like I just won't eat it again. Or I'll
Yeah.
try it again, maybe just to give it a second shot. But if it tastes really good, then I'm gonna keep getting it.
Like where I'm from in Long Island, people like hear the word vegan and they're like, what? Did you just say you have like a third head? Like, excuse me? Like they think you're like a part of like a terrorist group because you said you're vegan.
Yeah, I know. My especially coming from a Hispanic family, um, my grandma, she didn't understand it. Like when someone told her that they're vegetarian, she's like, I eat meat my whole life and I'm fine. And I'm like, just I was like, she doesn't. She's like, she's a grandma too, so she's really not gonna understand it. But just but specifically in like Hispanic like families, like they're just like we eat carne asada, we eat carnitas, we eat lengua, which is the cow's tongue. They're like we eat it all.
That's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out to grandma.
Yeah. Hey, when you're in LA, get some lengua.
That's the tongue.
Yeah, it's a cow's tongue.
Yeah, no thanks. We'll pass on that
one. Yeah, that's like I just it's bad sometimes when it comes to food.
It sounds like unpleasant. Like nothing about that's like, ooh, let me go get some beef tongue. Meanwhile, there's gonna be some like jabron listening to this that's like trying to cancel me for not liking beef tongue.
No, you could have every right to not as a Hispanic. Me personally, you can. It's a required taste for sure. I don't even get it. I'm just saying it's a crazy thing to get while you're out here, especially on the West Coast.
Well, good to know.
But yeah, we're gonna start wrapping this up though, just because I don't want to take up too much of your time, and I understand it's getting kind of late where you're at. So,
Unfortunately,
yeah. But my brother usually asks this question. He usually does the interviews with me, but he usually does ask this question, and this is my last question for you: is when it's all said and done, and the wrestling's over, the wrestling shoes are put away, the boots are put away. What does Dr. Redacted want to be remembered for in wrestling?
oh, just for like people being like that guy was crazy. Like I just want them to remember like I don't want them to be like, oh, that time he came up, mailed it in. I don't want to be known as like the mail it in guy. I just want to be like that people having like even like when it comes to like hardcore shows and everything, you always think about like, oh, I went to that show and this crazy thing happened and the band was really good. But I always want to like be remembered as like, oh, the guy who did all that crazy shit. That was nuts. And like, I don't know. I guess I just want to be remembered in like a negative light, if that makes sense.
That makes
I mean, who does
sense.
want to be remembered in like a negative light? But like,
no, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like I said, that's great because like some of the shit that you do, or actually all of the shit that you do, is it gets the crowd, like it connects with the crowd. So you're doing your job there. So you're connecting with the crowd, and that's a good thing. I think that's like if you can connect with the crowd, I think you're doing your job.
I do love how I'm at the point now where if I grab a garbage can, they're just like, oh no.
He's gonna fly off something. He's gonna put himself in it, and he's gonna fly into something.
Yeah, exactly. Why not, right?
Oh man, that's funny. Like I said, I just watched the ICW show, and I saw that clip on Twitter, and people loved it.
Yeah, listen, I'll keep trying to kill myself in a garbage can for you guys. Don't worry.
All right. Okay, so where can people find you on social media?
On the Twitter, it's Dr. X Redacted. And then on the Instagram, it's Steve X Huey. That's me. Don't tell anyone.
I ain't telling no one.
And then Facebook, you could just find my name on there. Facebook's the least interesting one, I'll say. The other two are pretty good. Facebook's whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I have Facebook and I really don't use it. I just use it to keep up with like family and friends.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll post shows and stuff on there too, but that's really about it.
Yeah. Well, hey, thank you for doing this. I know we were gonna wait till like later in the year to do this, but I'm really glad we got to talk hardcore and wrestling and just bullshit for all this time. But again, thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you. And we can always do part 2 later in the year.
That is true. Shit, yeah, that is true. And maybe we can do this in person.
like I said, negotiations are being done right now, so we'll see.
All right, I feel it. All right, well, hey, you have a good night, and I will talk to you later.
You too, brother. Bye.
Ah, yes, good talk. I can talk hardcore specifically for hours, just because, like I said, that's where I come from before wrestling. So I could talk about that for legit hours, but I could talk about wrestling too for more hours too. So it's crazy. But yeah, good interview. Really great guy. Really great guy. That's hard to say. But anyways, thank you guys for checking us out. Thank you, whoever checking us out, anybody. So I appreciate it. Like I said, you can check us out at Markoutmedia 18. That's on Twitter and Instagram. We do have a Facebook. I really don't use it that much. We're going to get new merch printed hopefully by October 30th. So next month, I'll have new merch. We still have pins, stickers. I have my brother's stuff too, David. I have his, pins and stickers. And yeah, come to a merch table, I don't know, whenever we're at a show and pick something up. Wait for the new designs because the new ones are going to be pretty cool. I've been putting them up on my Instagram story, so you might know which one I'm going to print. But yeah, come get the old design too, because I have a bunch of smalls and I need to get rid of them. So yeah, but this is Friday that this is coming out, and I will be at Big Toko's Kickback in Newark, California. So it's going to be a good time. And happy birthday to Juicy and happy birthday to D-Rogue. So again, thank you for checking us out. And just like my brother says, you either mark out or get the fuck out. Goodbye.
Thank you for checking out the Markoutmedia podcast. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Markoutmedia18. And don't forget to buy the merch at brainbustertees.com.